Hello everyone, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. Today we're going to be making a lovely Christmas card, and this is it here. Isn't it elegant? And this is a 6x6 card, and it's got some lovely just stamping, and then we've got some lovely heat embossing, and I think it's a very simple but really elegant card. So let me show you how to make it. So I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks to start off with. I'm going to be using my stamping tool. Now this is the stamp set here called Most Wonderful, and it comes with this main image here. So you've got the main image of the wreath, then you've got the sentiment, and then if you want, you've also got these two little other pieces you can use as well. We're not going to use those today. I'm going to put my wreath down on my piece of cardstock here with my sentiment still in it. Now that I know that it's straight, I'm going to take my sentiment out. I'm going to pick this up with my lid. Keep my sentiment just there. Now we're going to be stamping with shaded spruce ink. I think for Christmas I either always use shaded spruce or I tend to use garden green. I just like that deeper green for Christmas cards, whereas for the rest of the year I tend to use maybe Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, brighter greens. I've been very into this year using Granny Apple Green and Lemon Lime Twist, which is very unusual for me, but didn't like it at all, but I've really taken to it. So let's ink that up. I am just going to give us a really good press down using my tool here that I just got online. There we go, lovely jubbly. Now, first time I did this, I whipped this piece off to clean it and everything else. And could I fit this back in properly to find the exact best way to put it in? Not a hope in Hades. So what I'm going to do, and I had to restamp everything. I just could not get this to make sure that I put this in where everything wasn't going to cover something, because I put this in, took this out of here, and then I couldn't remember the orientation. So I found the easiest way to stop that happening is to now put your sentiment back into your stamp like that, so it's nice and snug. Then I'm going to give everything a clean. No harm cleaning the other stamp again. There we go. Give that all a good clean. Now, making sure this stays in position, I'm just going to lift the wreath off. And now I know my sentiment is in the perfect position for my wreath. See? So now we are going to be stamping, going to do some heat embossing. So we're going to be using some Versamark ink. If I can see where I've put it, here it is. Now you can use your powder tool to get rid of any excess powder. I've left it downstairs, so I'm not going to use it today. I'm going to try it without it and hope for the best. I think we'll be okay. So all I'm going to do here is just put that down there, and then give this another press down using this. Get good contact. Lift that up, and then I'm going to take my gold embossing powder, and I've got a few pots in here, I should say. I like my gold embossing powder. Yeah, I can see it's okay. And I'm going to put this down. Tap the back to get off any excess powder. Now there are one or two spots I can see where powder has gone where I don't want it to go. So all I'm going to do here, and this is another tip, is to use a very fine paintbrush and just flick it off just where you don't want it. So just take your anywhere you think you don't want it. Just take your paintbrush and move it off. Give that another flick. I think that will do very well. Thank you very much, if I do say so myself. Now let's try and put this back in here without having a disaster. I won't. I'm not the best at this, but I think we've done okay then. No, I've got some everywhere. I knew it. Look, there we go. Let's try and put this back in again. Okay, so I am going to clean up this mess. I'm going to heat set that, and I'll see you when I've done it. Okay, so there you can see it's all done. It's beautifully heat embossed. You can tell when it's done because the powder changes from that dull colour to this lovely shiny gold. And you can see here, you can catch the light there. It's beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to cut this out. So I'm going to get my trimmer. One other thing I wanted to mention, if you do get powder on your table and you can't find it, one of these handheld tabletop little vacuum cleaners is brilliant for hoovering up any bits of powder, etc. that get on your desk, and you can just charge it in the normal way with a USB charger. So they are really useful. So that's another little tip for you. So let's cut this out. I'm going to cut this just sort of by eye more than anything. I'm going to go down there and then so it's just under. I'm just doing it by eye rather than measuring, so that was about just under 5 inches, because the wreath is not round. It is not up, a straight, not straight, an even circle, I should say. So it's best to do it by eye, I find, and I think that'll do for me. So we can save all of that for scrap for another day. And now what I'm going to do is back this onto some gold foil sheet, scrap of gold foil sheet that I have here. So I'm just going to use some snail, if it wants to. Snail, look at me. Snail hasn't been around for years. It's seal. Old habits die hard, I tell you. So just cover that in some seal. I'm being very generous, I know, with my seal, but that's because I've heat embossed there, so the cardstock has warped a little bit, so I want to make sure this is going to stick down really well. So I'm just going to put it in the corner, get 2 edges straight as best I can, like that. That will do me. And then just going to cut this out. Just by eye. And I think I want a tiny bit more off here. No, I'm going to do it by scissors rather. I trust my scissors better doing it by scissors than by my trimmer at times, because I'm used to cutting with my scissors. So if I want to trim something, I tend to prefer that. And I think that looks very nice. So then I'm going to bring in my card base. This is thick basic white. I took a 12 by 12 sheet and I've cut it down to make cut it at 6 inches and then scored it at 6 inches to make my card base. So now what I'm going to do is stick this down on our card and we're done. Good amount of glue again because we've got that heat embossing. Make sure everything is the right way round. And I'm just going to centre this top to bottom, left to right. Something very much like this. Now you can add some gems if you want. I didn't. I really just like this really clean and simple look. So there we have two elegant Christmas cards featuring heat embossing and the what was the stamp set again? The Most Wonderful World stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed this Christmas card making tutorial. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you do want any more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, all that kind of good stuff, you'll find that on my blog, and you can find the link to that, and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye!